you think your cat is just sleeping at the foot of your bed. You're wrong. Scientists have documented domestic cats doing things around their sleeping owners that almost nobody notices, and once you understand what it means, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. Stay with me because by the end of this, you'll realize your cat has been telling you something every single night, and you've been completely missing it. Welcome to If you're new here, hit subscribe right now because what we cover here will change how you understand your cat forever. Let's start with the one that happens first, and the one most people explain away without ever knowing the real reason behind it. 1. You've probably noticed it. You settle into bed, your eyes get heavy, and just before you drift off, you feel it. A cool nose near your cheek, whiskers brushing your face, a cat stepping carefully onto your chest or curling close to your neck. You assume your cat is just getting comfortable, finding the warmest spot to settle down for the night. But here's what's actually happening. Cats live in a world built around scent, breath, heat, and tiny movements most humans never notice. Your cat isn't just finding a cozy place, your cat is checking who you are and what state you're in. When you transition from wakefulness into sleep, your breathing slows, your body relaxes, your movements become more predictable. To you, that's just falling asleep. To your cat, that's a change in the whole sensory picture. They can smell you, feel the airflow of your breath with their whiskers, and detect that your body has shifted into stillness. That little nuzzle near your face, they're confirming the person they trust is really there. They're checking the familiar. This behavior is rooted in how cats organize their world. Cats may seem independent, but they are deeply tuned to routines, territories, and familiar individuals. And part of that means constantly updating the scent map of what is safe, known, and important. A cat needed to know who belonged in its space, who was calm, and whether the environment was stable. That instinct didn't disappear when cats moved into our homes. It redirected toward you. In a recent study, cats spent significantly longer sniffing the scent of an unfamiliar person than the scent of their owner, which tells us they absolutely distinguish between known and unknown humans through smell. And when you're lying there half asleep, your cat is using that same system in real time. So when your cat presses their nose near your face before settling down for the night, they aren't just being sweet, they're confirming identity. They're making sure the person at the center of their world is exactly where they're supposed to be. And here's the thing, what they do after confirming you're there is something almost no one thinks about. We'll get to that. Keep watching. 2. The midnight patrol isn't randomness. 3 in the morning. Dead silence. And then soft, soft, soft. You hear paws on the floor. Your cat is up moving through the house. You roll over half asleep and assume they got restless, wanted water, or just decided to be a cat. You fall back asleep. But your cat is working. Cats are not truly nocturnal. They are what scientists describe as crepuscular, meaning their activity naturally rises around dawn and dusk, and they sleep in multiple bouts across the day and night. In the home, that means your cat doesn't experience the night as one long block of unconsciousness the way you do. Their sleep is lighter, more flexible, and interrupted by brief periods of movement and surveillance. The territory is never completely off duty. Studies tracking domestic cat locomotor activity have found a strong 24-hour rhythm with repeated peaks around early morning and evening. Not one simple stretch of sleep. During those wakeful windows, your cat often moves through the house in familiar routes that aren't random. They check hallways, they pause at doorways, they look toward windows, they return to the bed, confirm you're still there, and then settle again. This is a territory sweep. Your home is your cat's world, and you are the most important part of that world. What's remarkable is that indoor cats still do this even when there is no obvious threat. Because for a cat, safety isn't only about danger. It's about predictability. It's about keeping the map current. While you're completely asleep and unaware, your cat is quietly making sure nothing important has changed. Think about that the next time you grumble at them for waking you up. But that midnight patrol is only one piece of what's happening while you sleep. There's something else your cat does in the dark, something much quieter, and honestly much more intimate. And most owners have no idea it's happening. 3. You've probably caught your cat doing this during the day. curling up on your laundry pile, needing the sweatshirt you wore, sleeping in the exact spot on the couch where you were sitting. It's cute, right? Endearing, maybe a little weird, but at night it goes further. While you sleep, your cat will often move closer than they were when you first fell asleep. They'll press their body against you, tuck themselves behind your knees, or settle with one paw, one flank, one small point of contact touching you. And this isn't just about warmth or comfort, though those matter. Cats communicate belonging through scent. Their social world depends on it. In bonded cat relationships, friendly individuals rub faces, groom one another, and rest near each other, building a shared scent profile over time. It's how a cat marks what is familiar, socially safe, and part of their world. When your cat pushes against you while you sleep, they are participating in that process. They're taking in your scent, reinforcing the odor record they carry of you, and in many cases, they're depositing their own scent onto you in return. Cats have scent glands around the face, chin, forehead, and cheeks. When your cat presses their face against your arm or rubs their head against your shoulder at night, they're not being randomly affectionate. They're mixing scents. Not in a dominance display, not in some cold, territorial way, but in the same way friendly cats create a shared social odor. They're saying, "This person is part of my safe world." It's one of the clearest forms of feline acceptance there is, and it happens quietly while you sleep, while you have no idea it's occurring. Still think your cat is just sleeping next to you? Keep watching, because what comes next might be the strangest behavior of all, and the science behind it is genuinely remarkable. 4. They notice things you can't detect. You've seen it. You're lying in bed, almost asleep, and your cat suddenly lifts their head, eyes open, ears forward, locked on the dark corner of the room, not moving, not making a sound, just staring into what looks like absolutely nothing. It's unnerving. A lot of people joke about it. Some people genuinely get a little spooked. But here's the actual explanation, and it's more fascinating than any ghost story. Cats don't complain. They don't never realize why we do. Their eyes contain a reflective layer behind the retina, called the tapetum lucidum, which sends incoming light back through the eye and helps them use far less light than we need. In conditions where you see a dim, featureless room, your cat may still be picking up edges, movement, and detail. But vision is only part of it. Cats can hear frequencies up to around 64,000 Hz. Humans top out at about 20,000. That gap is enormous. What that means in practical terms is that your cat can hear tiny rustles in the wall, insects, distant movement, the faint high-pitched buzz of electronics, and sounds so subtle they don't even register as part of your world. Their whiskers add even more information, detecting nearby air movement and spatial changes at close range. When your cat is staring at that corner at 2 in the morning, they are not imagining things. They are not being weird. They are processing real sensory information that exists in your home, information your biology simply isn't built to catch. Their ears rotate, their nose samples the air, their whiskers shift almost invisibly. They're analyzing a whole layer of reality that runs alongside yours, invisible and inaudible to you, but completely vivid to them. And here's the part worth thinking about. In most cases, after a few moments, your cat decides there's no danger, settles back down, and goes back to sleep. They completed the assessment. They just quietly pull away. They don't whine, who used. They don't never is quietly pull away. They're just doing their job. Now, we've talked about what your cat does in the dark, in the silence, when they think no one is watching, but we haven't gotten to the one behavior that researchers have only recently begun to understand, that reveals something about how deeply your cat is tuned to you. That's coming up. Don't go anywhere. 5. This one is almost unbelievable until you understand the science behind it. You've probably experienced waking from a bad dream or a restless stretch of sleep to find your cat already there, staring at you, touching your face, stepping onto your chest, or meowing softly. Most people assume it was coincidence, but research suggests what's actually happening is far more sophisticated than that. Cats don't mark, more sensitive to human emotional state than people give them credit for. When a person enters a restless dream or a period of disturbed sleep, the body changes. Breathing becomes irregular. You may twitch, make sounds, shift position, or release stress-related odor cues. These changes are subtle. A human in the next room might not notice them. A cat notices immediately. Studies on cat-human communication have shown that cats use their owners' emotional signals in uncertain situations, and more recent research has shown that cats respond differently to human emotional body odors, especially fear-related scent cues. They don't need language to know something changed. Instead, they investigate. They come closer. They make contact. They vocalize, stare, or place themselves directly on you. And in many cases, that moment is exactly when you wake up and realize they were already there. Your cat is not reading the story of your dream, but they are reading your physiology while you sleep, without you realizing it's happening. This behavior is so easy to dismiss because cats don't make a show of it. But here's what's remarkable. No one had to train them to notice. Many domestic cats do a version of this spontaneously, simply because they are exquisitely tuned to the person they live with. Your agitation changes the room, and your cat responds to that change. They pick up what you feel even while you're unconscious, even while they could have stayed curled up somewhere else, and they choose every single time to come check. We're almost at the final behavior, and it's the one I want you to pay the closest attention to because it's the most subtle, the hardest to catch, and the one that says the most about how your cat truly feels about you. Stay with me. 6. Think back to the beginning of this video. We talked about your cat pressing close to your face at night, checking your breathing, confirming you're there. That's where the night begins. Here's where it ends. After your cat has finished their patrol, after they've settled in close to you, after they've confirmed that you're still there and the room is calm, something happens that almost no one ever sees, because the only way to catch it is in low light, in complete quiet, when everyone in the room is fully still. Cats have a behavior that people often misunderstand as sleepiness, but research has shown it's also part of positive cat-human communication. Feline behavior researchers studying cats with their humans have documented what we know as the slow blink sequence. A cat who positions themselves facing a familiar person softens the muscles around the eyes, narrows the lids, and sometimes closes them in a slow, relaxed blink. Not fear, not tension. In feline body language, hard staring is something else entirely. But soft eyes and slow blinking, that's a signal associated with calm, trust, and positive social intent. And here's the thing about what happens at night. The signal isn't always mutual. You're asleep, you'll never see it. Your cat may be facing you, slow blinking in the dark, settling into a state of quiet safety directed entirely at someone who is completely unaware it's happening. They're not doing it for food. They're not doing it because you're watching. They're not performing affection. They're just feeling safe enough to express it in the only language they have. Researchers and behaviorists have also long noted that friendly cats choose to rest in contact or close proximity with those they trust most. So, at this stage of the night, your cat may do something else. They inch closer to their sleeping person, not dramatically, just enough that some part of their body is touching some part of yours, a paw against your leg, a spine against your ankle, just enough. In feline social behavior, that kind of relaxed sleep proximity is not meaningless. It says, I am safe here. I choose this spot. I choose you. Your cat has chosen you. Not because you feed them, though you do. Not because you're useful, though you are. But because somewhere in that ancient, observant, deeply sensitive brain, you became their person. You became part of their territory, their routine, their safety, their world. And every single night, while you sleep and dream and drift through the dark, completely unaware, your cat is awake, checking, observing, settling near you in the purest way they know how. You'll never catch them doing it, but now you know it's happening. And that changes everything. If this made you see your cat differently, share it with someone whose cat deserves to be understood and subscribe to Feline Mind, because next time we're going into something even deeper, what your cat is actually trying to tell you when they look at you and slowly blink. That one will stay with you.